Yes, so the thing that Eisenhower is arguably like the most known for, at least during his presidency, is the interstate highway system, right? Love it or hate it, I don't know, but it's really good. We have a really good one. And if you think about the importance of roads, it seems so boring and so simplistic, but like go back to the Roman Empire. What are they the most famous for? Roads. It's roads. Now, the interstate highway system specifically kind of shows us this really interesting intersection between the economy and the military, like I was talking about in the last video, because of course, having a very efficient way to like transport goods and labor and whatever all across the country has a huge economic benefit. And in the wake of the Great Depression and then World War II, Eisenhower is doing what he can to like stabilize our economy and have it continue to grow. And of course, we're doing that in our like car culture, right? I mean, what is some of the first kind of industrializing that the United States does in the early 20th century? It's like Henry Ford and cars. But the specific plan for the interstate highway system was way more about military readiness in the early days of the Cold War. Because consider, yes, like crops can go from California to the other coast and labor can move, but you know what else can move on interstate highways much more effectively? Soldiers, weapons, defense. Now with the threat of like a nuclear attack looming, we need to be able to get from like one side of the country to the other as quickly as humanly possible, right? I mean, think about what was happening during the Cuban Missile Crisis. I mean, it's like all of a sudden people are flooding down into Florida. We're seeing tanks, we're seeing US military, everything like getting ready in case that's where we need to be. And it was way more efficient because of those interstate highways. In fact, and I'm going to fact check this and I'll put up here to confirm, but my understanding too was that part of the law said that every stretch of highway, like every certain number of miles, there had to be a stretch of highway that was basically wide enough and flat enough that a plane could land or take off in case we all of a sudden were like at war across our country and needed to defend ourselves from those commies that are going to like invade in rural Colorado if Red Dawn was any indication. No, I'm so sad. Apparently this is a very well-worn myth. Like, I'm not the only one who thinks this. The Federal Highway Administration had to commission a historian to debunk it. I guess there was discussion about it, but it never was actually implemented. That was like my favorite fun fact to tell on road trips. Oops.